there is a way where you only need one image to create 15-second ad. What you just saw was really created from one single image. I'm gonna tell you exactly how I did it, and I will give you the workflow. I have built it in Higgsfield, which just recently introduced Canvas, which is node-based, and in my opinion, is the best way there is to create a content if you build it with nodes. It's not difficult, it's just a little different. So this is how the workflow looks like. In the video, which is somewhere here, I have used this technique, but it wasn't built as a workflow, and I was still tweaking some things, but you can go and check it out. However, in here, I have built it as a workflow, which with one final ingredient can work as a one-click production. Now, let me guide you through how this works. As a user, you really only need to take care about these two nodes, nothing else. You will upload image of the product, but be sure it's a good image, quite sharp, so it gets enough detail there. And below it, there is a place where you will describe what the product is and how you would imagine the ad to look like. You can see that this first paragraph is direct copy from Orbit website, which I took from here. This way it knows better what the product is. Then below that, I just wrote, make it agency grade cinematic visuals in the style of raw street style. I imagine there a woman with a dark curly hair and denim jacket to be main character. I didn't tell it much more, and of course the more time you spend here giving it your ideas and what you imagine it to be, the better the result will be. But as a showcase, that's just fine because it can work with that much context just as well. Now below it, this is system prompt. You don't touch it. You can see it's quite long. Let me stretch it out for you. It's super long, and I spent time on it to make it work, so rather leave it as it is. And here we have our assistant LLM prompt, which is basically ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, whichever you prefer to use. And it is fed with system prompt, what it should do, and it knows that it will be provided with one image and brief description of what the product is and what is the idea. And it knows that the task is to create a prompt which will create these storyboard layouts, 12 panels, 4x3, and I have generated a couple of those here for you just to show how it works. And for that to work, set it up to be 4K, which is here, and in this window you just pick up 4K and high quality, because this image is basically divided into 12 single frames, therefore try to make them as big as they can be. Now here you can see that it gave me some storyboard, and in every one of those three the flow is kind of same. Woman is somewhere in the city, then she picks up chewing gum, puts it in her mouth, then she walks somewhere. It's determined by this prompt, just the representation is a little bit different every single time, and I would advise you to generate 2 or 3, pick the one that works best. And now add generation time. Here you will use Seedance 2. You need to use Seedance 2, it's best in understanding such storyboard approach. Sometimes Kling can work, but Seedance is way more successful at it. But on the other hand, Seedance is really tricky, and sometimes it blocks your generation because of, I don't know, it somehow identifies something in the image as covered by intellectual property of I don't know who. Therefore, you need to try it a couple more times until it lets you generate it, but there is always a way for that. Now, Here we have our video prompts, which once again are not that simple, but you will have them so we can work with them. And I have spent some time tweaking how they should look like. You can see it's that long. I think it's like under 2,500 characters for Seedance, if I am not mistaken. Therefore, I limited it to be under 2,000. But in this case, I am reusing same prompt for each generation just to show you more outputs. However, they do not differ. And now when we take a look at it, we have, for example, this. Great part. Then the second one. Now, it also looks quite good. Third one is in the same story, but you have for sure noticed it has some imperfections there, mainly text, which would be solved if you would generate each scene one by one. However, with this approach, it's super fast, but it comes at the cost of a bit lower quality, and some scenes might be even a little weird, but again, it's one image. And there is also quite easy solution to that often, because take a look at the last scene. Let's zoom in. Yes, you can see the text is distorted. But if you take a look at that scene, that part doesn't move. So you simply replace it in Photoshop or any other tool, and you will overlay the text if this is really concerning you. And another cool thing is that you are not generating only complete ads, which sometimes might need a little bit of work after. You also generate a lot of B-roll footage. Every single video here has 12 frames, and I would say like 5 to 6 are without any bugs or obvious problems. So if you take 5 from here, 5 from here, and 5 from here, you can then mix match to create different variations, collages, or other social media. If you multiply it 5 by 5 by 5, it's potential of 125 different videos. Yes, of course you won't do that, and I wouldn't be doing that just as well, but like theoretically you can do that. So you will use this video once, then you will take out the best scenes, keep it somewhere, and then simply combine it. Now, we discussed how this works, so now I will show it to you in action. Let's stay with Chewing Gum World, and I will go here at their main site, and I just switch it to, let's say, this green one, this one. I'm gonna copy image. I will paste it here. And the only thing I will do is that I will replace image input and delete this one. And in here, I need to switch description. I will copy it, paste it here, and maybe keep this part, but I imagine a woman with long blonde hair and black leather jacket. To shuffle things off, I accidentally delete system prompt, and now watch. First, I'm gonna regenerate new image prompt. I'm not doing anything else. Now, prompt is done. I'm quite optimistic, so I don't even inspect it. Here, I will only hit generate, but let's use maybe only one image. That would be fine. We can hit generate. And again, just wait until it's done. Now you can see image is done, and I actually love it way more than the first one. Looks kind of interesting, but the story is a little different. So what do we do now? I'm gonna move these guys here so we can focus, because this might take quite a long time to rewrite it so it actually reflects what is on the storyboard. Otherwise, you have storyboard image, but a little different video generation prompt. Now, as I have told you, this part is completely free for you. Find the link in the description. But how cool would that be if there was a way to get that prompt updated on its own? I did it, and it's somewhere here. Look, top secret note, which is by no means top secret. It's just, again, only a system prompt for LLM node, and with it, again, you just hit run, and it will read the most recent storyboard prompt. It will take a look at image, and it will give you a new prompt on its own. And that prompt would reflect what happens here. That is cool, and it saves time. You don't need to do it if you are using it for one video, but if you want to use it repeatedly, that's lifesaver. However, that part is for people in my community. So if you happen to find use for that, go there and you are most welcome. And now, so we know that I'm not lying, check. Open wide behind the blonde woman. So it was updated. Now again, I can hit generate, and the new video with the green chewing gum is in production. So let's wait until this one is done, and there is one more thing to show it in the most time efficient way. Now that this is done, we can take a look. Well, this one was absolutely great considering it was storyboard generation. Direction was quite interesting. I'm pretty happy with it. To be fair, in each generation, chewing gum looked different, but I did not fed it with any reference. How does it look like? So it guessed. If that would be a concern, I'm pretty sure I would find a way. And now let's do last run, which is full workflow in its most efficient way. I will zoom it out, and now we will go to their page, and we will use this red one, strawberry. Copy image, paste image here, and then copy description. And now in our prompt, only change description. Now maybe this would be Asian woman with long black hair and loose t-shirt. I'm gonna keep the rest. And about that, I will use new image input. Therefore, you see, I only changed 2 things. Now, magic of the workflow is, once all this here is basically connected and prepared, I can select it all, and here I can hit run pipeline. And once I hit that, I can go there and make myself a coffee. So, drum roll. Make sure it's plugged in here, because I forgot to do it before. I needed to do it again. New image, new description. You can select all, you can hit run pipeline, go and take a lunch or coffee or whatever you want, and you will get back to ready-made video. drum rolls. And now you see all the notes started to be generated, and now each following note is on hold until any of those before are not done. So here you can see that video prompt waits in queue until our image itself is ready. I will leave that working. I'm gonna try that coffee probably. And just as it was the case with the previous versions, it looks great considering it's just one image as input. There are some parts which might or might not be a problem. It really depends on circumstances and what do you need it for. But we are getting somewhere, and be sure this is not the last version of this workflow. I'm gonna make it better every single time. Now, go and take light version for free, and there's nothing more for you today. Have a nice day.